Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, my little love bugs. This is Michelle the Oracle, and I am here on it's kind of a hazy day where I live. Just came out here and was told it's time to talk to you again. So I sat down in one of my favorite spots, surrounded by some of my favorite stuff. Y'all can kind of get the vibe. And I came and allowed myself to get surrounded in nature where I feel comfortable so I can talk to you about the next thing that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to try to keep it together. I'm not going to hold in my emotion. If I cry, I'm not going to apologize, because what we're about to talk about is a harsh subject. It's hard for the most of us. And the problem is we suppress that thing, that emotion, that lump in our throat, that tear that wants to pop out of our eye to talk about stuff, and we try to swallow it down, and we can't do that. It hasn't helped us before. I know we were always taught to be strong and don't let the other see you cry, or don't let the other one see you be vulnerable. And that's a lie. It's a lie. Bless their hearts that they passed that lie to us, because it forced a lot of us to confront it and prove it wrong. By suppressing emotions, by suppressing feelings, by suppressing responses and truth to what we feel at the moment, because we need to appear strong, put together, and we become false by doing that. Isn't that crazy? They tell you that that's the picture of strength, is the person who can persevere without the tear in their eye, without the quiver in their lip, or the shaking of their voice. Isn't that stupid? I look at strong people as the ones who can come to me with truth and just throw it out there with the tears and the snot and all the emotion. That's real. That's authentic. It's not a surface answer, I have my stuff together. What are you talking about? Can't you see the picture of my life? That's BS. It really is. It's a lie. And I can spot it from a mile away nowadays. Can't you? Haven't you become a human lie detector lately? Can't you see it from a mile away now? It doesn't need to come right in your face anymore. It doesn't have to be right here showing you, hey, I'm lying. You can see it. Like, it's that obvious. We can see it. And suppressing our emotions and our feelings and our responses is causing a lack or a forgetfulness of compassion. Look at Facebook. There is hardly anybody aware that they are lacking compassion, and that's okay. You have to experience one to come to the other, okay? I get it. You have to experience not having compassion for the other, because when you flip the script and you go the other way, you'll feel the satisfaction even more authentic, even more real, because you were in a place where you weren't compassionate to a situation, to people, to a belief, compassionate to yourself. And it's because we were told that we have to suppress these feelings, our natural reactions, our natural responses, our natural instincts, just to present that we're strong. But we're weak by doing that. Strength comes from authenticity. That's the strongest person I know, is the one who can throw down and tell me truth. With or without crying or emotion. It doesn't matter when I see it and you feel it and you know, I can spot it. I can spot the lie from a mile away. It's a little windy today. Hopefully I'm not screwing up the sound too much for you. And we're given this opportunity every moment to change that pattern, that belief system, that suppressing. It hasn't been helping you. It's actually been festering inside of your body. And it'll come out as a body ache or a headache or klutziness. Are you a klutz that bumps into things and trips over stuff? Do you want to know why? Because you're suppressing some kind of emotion in your body, is making something happen to get your attention. You get a bruise. What was that? I was just klutzy. I hit myself. No, it's kind of your body telling you, hey, pay attention. There's something happening. There's something in here. we're not expressing, we're not being authentic, we're not emoting. Which brings to the topic that I wanted to talk about. This is something that's been on my heart for weeks now, and it blew up for the people around me. So I see why I was told to wait, why I've been waiting about talking about this, because I had to put it into practice. Last night, to be honest, I had to put it into practice on a whole new level that I wasn't even aware that I was at. And this is where I'm going to get shaky, but I'm not going to hold it back. I was given an opportunity to forgive. Forgiveness. This is what we're going to talk about, is forgiveness. Isn't that a huge word? Forgiveness. The word forgiveness for me used to put in the image of that old man sitting on that cloud on top, right, with the book of life and with a blue pen and a red pen, taking up the marks of my life and going to judge me at the end. That I had to please that thing all the time to be forgiven. Then I became a certain religion later on in my life, and when I heard the word forgiveness, it triggered an image of a guy on a cross hanging with suffering and blood and stuff, and I was just this all the time, that he did this for you and you should be so sorry. And that was my image of forgiveness for a really long time. And that's probably why I delayed forgiving so many things. That bird just flew right over my head. I love it. It's a synchronicity. We're going to talk about that later. And I'm surrounded by robins right now. I'm surrounded. There's an entire troop of robins eating off of the grass out here. I'm surrounded. And we're talking about forgiveness. And forgiveness, whatever image that triggers for you, the man in the box that you have to talk to and confess all your stuff to, and then he does this and tells you you have to do this to get forgiveness, whatever image it's triggered inside you, this topic of forgiveness, whatever it is that your mind is doing and playing for you at the moment, let's accept that for what it is, okay? And then let's kind of wrap it up here for a second with a little bow, and we're going to put it on the shelf just for a minute, okay? And you and I are going to try something different. We're going to try something different. We're going to rebrand, remarket, and we're going to relaunch forgiveness. Do y'all understand? We're going to repackage, rename, and relaunch the product forgiveness. Okay, so let's take our picture of what we have now, and we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to put it on the shelf for right now, and you're going to come chill with me for just a second, and we're going to talk about this rebranding thing, okay? Let's call it reconciliation. Reconciliation means coming to a place of balance, without conflict, without right or wrong, without a judgment. It's balanced on a scale perfectly. For me, when I see a scale, which have been following me lately, and the justice card has been following me lately, and this is where we're at. So if we can see reconciliation, and remember, we just renamed that we put on the shelf, we now call it reconciliation. Reconciling is balancing out on a scale, making equal. There is no wrong, there is no right. It's accepting and including the two and moving on from there. Understand? So all of a sudden, it's called reconciliation. It's not huge. It's a scale that we are in control of balancing. Do you hear us? That we are in control of balancing. This is a decision made completely by you. Reconciliation. Do I want it? Do I need it? Well, the answer is yes to both of those. Trust me, your souls are jumping up and down going, yes, 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 no matter what your human is saying right now, which I'm sure you're all pretty open to this by now. If you've hung with me this long, you're open to thinking about reconciliation. So the description of reconciliation is going to be this. I'm a visual, I see in picture. You show me in picture, I got it. Show me once in movement, I got it. Okay, if you write it out for me, I'm not so good. I'm a visual, and that's fine. Fantastic. Good for you visuals. So this is what I'm going to have to give you for reconciliation. I can't give you a word-by-word descript, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you or paint you a picture of reconciliation. Before it was another thing, remember, in that box, whatever that was, whatever that old word was, and the old concepts and beliefs of having to get there is on a shelf right now. So this is a completely new description for reconciliation. It's a big, gigantic blanket, the biggest blanket that you can imagine. And it's in the texture of fuzzy that you like best. The texture is the fuzzy that you like best. And it's warm, and it's soft, and it's conforming. And this blanket is in the color that's your favorite color of all time, with your favorite pattern, with your favorite feeling. Reconciliation is this huge blanket. And what it does is we put the entire situation, the person, the place, the thing, the idea, the emotion, whatever it is that needs reconciling in our past, in our present, whichever, whatever that is. There's no small, there's no big. We put us all in one bowl, right? Not a bowl. You put us all on one couch. And then this gigantic reconciliation blanket that is specialized for each one who's involved, that's in their favorite color with their favorite texture, conforming to their. This blanket of reconciliation wraps around you. And it just kind of gently, like that, to the entire situation, all the people, all the emotions, every consequence, real or not, is in that blanket. It's not being judged, it's not tilting, it's squeezing the whole thing. It's reconciling. It's addressing that it's all one. It's all going to always be connected. It's all okay, and giving a big hug. And the blanket lets go and you get to go on. Doesn't that feel good? Did you do that with me? Were you in that blanket with somebody? Did you need to be? I did it last night. It was amazing to reconcile past, present. It was the most beautiful thing I think I've experienced so far. And I've experienced some gorgeous stuff. But reconciliation and looking at it like a squeeze of a blanket, not a judgment and a finger swipe and a slap on the hand or a whap on the ass or a sentence for life. The reconciliation guarantees success for those of us that participate in it. Success is guaranteed. And these robins are making their move closer to me because I'm declaring truth. Reconciliation will set you free. It will give you true freedom. I used to be able to Rolodex stuff. I was a memory hoarder. If you wronged me, I had a Rolodex card in my head that had your name, the date, what you did, what you said, how it affected me, and the consequence thereof. And in a moment's notice, if something happened, I could pull you up in that Rolodex and, oh yeah, I remember that. Ooh, and I had to reconcile because that Rolodex got really heavy in my head and it was making wrong choices for me. I was operating from the heavy Rolodex in my head and not the authentic voice that was in my heart. So I cleared out the Rolodex. And it started with the old name of reconciliation, but it's evolved to the reconciliation that we just walked you through, the blanket surrounding you, giving you warmth, giving you love, all things involved, all parties involved. And then when the release came, it was a release, a true release, an authentic release. There was no judgment. There was no unbalance. It was even Steven. And to operate from there is freedom. I choose to let a situation get into a Rolodex or get into my heart and operate from that. And there's stuff that was in the past that had to be reconciled, that had to be balanced out and put into me. And it's still there. It's still there. It's just, it's not painful. I decided I'm reconciled with that. And it doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel heavy. I don't feel guilty. I feel freedom. Can't you see it on me? If you've wronged me, if you know me personally and you've wronged me, I forgave you a long time ago. We got squeezed with that reconciliation blanket, sweetheart. It's gone and it's over. And this vessel is moving in such authentic and loving place. And she's so thankful that she was wrapped in that blanket with you. Those situations in your life, things in your past that have been holding you up. Can you imagine getting to a reconciliation point with them, with it, with yourself? Being able to move forward from that without that anymore? Knowing that it's a this and not a the this? Whew, that's freedom. Go find that. As you're learning to clear your thoughts, as you're learning to meditate, as you're learning to make decisions from the heart space, a lot of old things are going to pop because you're going to have to make new decisions. Not that you're going to have to make new decisions. You're going to be, it's going to be you are going to feel it in your being that you have to maneuver in these directions. And there are things that are going to pop that are going to remind you of something, and your Rolodex card might come up. You might handle it the old way with the old branding of that name that's on the shelf still. And that's okay. If you handle it that way, that's fine. But please, promise me, between you and me right here, because I'm right here with you, I'm going through this with you. Promise me, as I just showed you my reconciliation, can you promise me that you'll try at least once for yours? Try it with your blanket. Color it any color that's your favorite pattern, your favorite texture. Is it fuzzy? Is it curly? How does it feel? And then imagine it as a huge blanket and take all the ingredients of whatever it is that you need to reconcile and plop it in a blanket and let it wrap you. Try it one time for me. Okay? I love you guys so much. Again, as always, if you have any questions, you can email me at michelletheoracle@gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook. You can friend me on there. Keep doing you. We are making so much progress. I can tell you that as a reader of energy, I can feel the waves that are coming in and out right now, and they're big. And we are all surfing them. Dude, surfing them like champs right now. And congratulations and so much love to all of you. You guys are so loved. No matter where you are or what you're doing or what you think the picture looks like on the outside, you are doing so wonderfully, and you're so surrounded in love and support all the time, like these robins who are really almost at my feet. I'm surrounded by this and the robins. You are surrounded in love and perfection, always, because it's you. You guys have a great day, a great afternoon, a great evening. I wish you well. We love you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.